name is Brian Cho, and I am the songwriter for song number 4 of the Abide album, which is Psalm 139. The inspiration behind this song is really because it's one of my favorite psalms. And to me, I've always been drawn to it because there's the language of closeness and intimacy that no matter where we go, we can't escape God's presence, which can be a terrifying thing, but it can also be something that's really awesome and amazing to know that He's always there with us. And so with the theme of abide, it just seemed to be a fitting psalm to write a song for. Now, the funny thing about this song is that I've tried to write songs from this psalm many times before, but unsuccessful. Every time I did it, I could not find the right melody and the right way to write it. So there's a lot of challenges there. And so I would always kind of scrap a lot of the ideas for this psalm. But through this album, I really felt like I was able to find a breakthrough. And so what you hear is really a product of a lot of failed attempts. And so, I really hope you guys enjoy the song. And I think the challenge of this song is really capturing not just the fact that God loves us and He's close, but also the idea of knowing that He's so big and He's always there and that we can't escape His presence. And that should create in us a feeling of awe as well as intimacy. And so capturing both of those aspects, that God is big, but He's also near and close, was one of the things I was going for in this song. So the two singers that were chosen to sing on Psalm 139 were John and Annie. John, I think of John as the better version of a vocalist for me, that he can do what I can't do. And so we had actually worked on a previous song, Psalm 19, which is my other favorite psalm. And so he actually sang on that, and we recorded a song doing that. And so I wanted to invite him in on this track as well, because I've worked with him before. I know what his voice sounds like, and that he's fun to work with. And then we also brought in Annie because we felt like she would really complement the vocals for this song. And so both of their vocals together really meshed well, and we're really thankful for how it turned out. John also played the piano live on this track as well, and so we're really excited that we can do that because we have a live piano that we can record. So as much as Psalm 139 was fun to write and had its own challenges, it's not really my forte. I'm not really a songwriter by nature. Actually, I'm a composer. And in fact, I was specifically trained to compose and write music for film, television, and media. And so the track that I'm also excited to share and talk about is the last track of this album, which is the Abide instrumental. And so this song is near and dear to my heart. It went through many, 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 many revisions, but I'm glad that it did because I'm happy with the turnout, and I hope you guys are too. But this album for me was really capturing a love relationship between God and His people. And you hear that through the different solo instruments throughout this track. And so it was really trying to capture the theme of abide, and what true intimacy and closeness looks like with God without any words, right? And so that's always a challenge, is like, how do you capture the essence of a theme or a subject without using words? And so that's always been fascinating for me as a composer who writes mostly non-lyrical music. And so using some of the background that I was trained in with like classical composition or an orchestration, it's it's a blend of all of those things that I enjoy doing and I'm passionate about. And fun question is, are the instruments you hear in this track, are they real instruments? Post in the comments below and maybe I'll let you know. So instrumental music, it tends to be subjective. It can mean different things to different people, but at least I can share my perspective as the composer for this. Is the piano is pretty much prevalent all throughout the track, and I actually envision that to be life. It takes many different iterations. You hear particles of the piano at some points, you hear high-pitched octaves, you hear just a simple chord, but it was really trying to capture the piano as life in all of its different seasons and the different things that we tend to go through. But the real highlight of this track is the two instruments, the two solo instruments, which was the solo violin and the solo cello. And so the solo cello is representing us, and people, and how at times we want God, but we don't always fully want Him, and there's like this wrestling with. And so the phrases actually in that song, in the cello, tend to be shorter because we long for God, but not as much as we want. Whereas the solo violin, which is also known to be the instrument of love, is God, right? And so that solo violin line is really long, right? And it shows God's just lavish, steadfast, long love for His people, and almost like Him wooing His people. And so that's why at the very end you hear like this really cool intermingling of the violin and the cello finally just catching up and kind of falling more in love with God. And so I guess those would be some of the things to listen for or look out for. And but like I said, that's just my perspective as a composer, but it could mean what you want it to mean because it's an instrumental. And I just hope that you are, that it fills you with a lot of hope, a lot of joy, and it's just a pleasant listening experience. We really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your support. My name is Brian. I'm one of the pastors at Faith Harvest Church, as well as the creative director of Faith Harvest Creatives. If you're interested in more content like this, please hit subscribe. And there's also, if you want to watch more videos, click on the link here below.